Well, I'm sure you're seeing them everywhere. QR codes. Those funky looking black and white square codes are really popping up all over the place. Signs, print advertising, even television commercials. It's kind of crazy. And so what we're going to do in this session is really talk about how to do them right. I'm going to show you some examples of how they're done wrong so you can really see how easy it is to slip into the wrong side of this. But we'll really, by the end of this, I feel like you may be seeing QR codes in an entirely different light. I want to start by asking the question, what do QR codes and our dear friend Miss Green M&M have in common? And the reality is that they're the sexy ones. They are the QR codes are the mobile marketing tool that everybody wants to do. For some reason, they're just they're so appealing. You know, they're sort of like interesting. They've got some things that are kind of, I don't know. I mean, I can't even say why it is because I don't really see them in the same light as everyone else, but I can assure you that they are. I had a conversation with a neighbor of mine who's starting a business, and she said, oh, I'd really like to talk to you about mobile marketing, and she said, I really want to get a QR code on my business card. I said, great, what are you going to have it do? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, well, then why would you want to start there? So that's what I think QR codes and Miss Green have in common, is that they are the sexy ones. Doesn't really mean they're any different on the inside. It's just a tool and needs to be done properly. No offense to Miss Green M&M. Okay, I want to start first with the Mobile Action Codes Glossary. Now, first of all, I've been saying QR codes. I'm going to be talking about QR codes, but it's really important to me that you understand that QR codes are only one type of mobile action code. Mobile action code is the broad category of all types of codes that can be used to cause a mobile action. They're also called 2D barcodes, which I think is just a horrible name. I think mobile action codes is much smarter. But anyway, so that's what all this means. And QR codes are really the most commonly used type. So if you're a Gen Xer or older, you remember the VHS and Betamax argument, which has now gone across several different formats of various technology, and we're in that now with mobile action codes. Really, QR codes are probably going to be the winner. I can't imagine that they're not, but just that they are just one type. There are other types of mobile action codes, and Microsoft Tag, Snap Tag, B Tag, and there's more. But QR codes are probably going to be the one for the US, and they already are in Japan. Now you'll notice I underlined mobile every time it was used in that last slide. And the reason is that there's only one purpose for a QR code. And I stress this because when we get to the part about seeing the ones that are done wrong, you'll understand what I mean. But for now, just understand the concept that there's only one thing that a QR code is designed to do. It's to give a quick and easy connection between the physical world and a mobile device. And it needs to be for a specific reason. You never want to be using a QR code that does anything but snap from the physical world, make something happen on mobile for mobile, and it needs to have a specific reason. Otherwise, it's just a waste and not what you need to be doing. So here's the success formula for QR codes. Essentially, it's a two-part process. The code is put somewhere as a marketing tool. The QR code, it's wise to think of the QR code as the marketing tool for your other mobile marketing, okay? It is the code that makes something happen, that brings people in to your mobile world. It is the facilitator to bring them in. It's not the end-all process. It's got to do something else to bring them into mobile. That's the way to think about it. You'll notice I have green, yellow, and red here. There are places that it's good to put a QR code. There's places that it's okay to put a QR code in the right purpose. And then there's places where it's just not smart and you don't want to do it. And yet I see them all the time. Same thing. The next step of the QR code success formula is the mobile action that it causes. Okay, there really needs to be something that happens as a result of the QR code. Obviously, it's an action code, so it causes some action. And these are some of the things that it can do that are great. It can launch a mobile website. It can open an App Store download page. Those are two really great ones. It can open a PayPal Buy Now link. I'm going to show you an actual example of that in this session. It can launch a YouTube video. It can connect to social media. And it can send an SMS message. That's kind of an interesting one that a lot of people tend to overlook. It can also make a phone call, and I have that in orange or yellow because it kind of doesn't make sense. I mean, people know how to dial their phone, and it's easier to dial the number than it is to launch a QR code, so it's kind of an odd use. The key is that the action that it takes should make things easier for the end user, not more complicated. That's an example. The phone call, it's more complicated. And then you'll notice that the desktop website is in red. It really should not ever happen. So there's two main rules here for the QR code. It should not ever be placed in an unusable place. So let's go back and look at this. TV commercials. It's too quick, and people they have to get up and move up to the TV in order to scan the code. It just doesn't work. A moving vehicle. Now I see a lot of QR codes on vehicles, and it kind of, I don't know, I've never really seen one in a spot where I could actually scan it. I mean, I suppose if I was standing at a light waiting to cross and the car stopped right in front of me, I could do it. Or if they were right in front of me at a stoplight, I could maybe do it, but I'm not really likely to do it. So for the most part, a moving vehicle is just not a good idea. I have seen QR codes on billboards on a highway. Seriously. How on earth would someone scan a QR code on a billboard while they're driving by? Just stupid. No, don't do that. The other part is anywhere there's not data access. Now here in America, we don't tend to have very good cell coverage in our subway systems. So you really don't want to be doing QR codes where people don't have data access. Now in South Korea, they have data access pretty much everywhere. And in their subway system, they have a painted panel or picture of a grocery store aisle, and in it are groceries with QR codes on them, and the people can, while they're waiting for the subway, scan the items that they want to shop for at their grocery store and have them delivered to them. So that's a pretty cool thing. We're not there yet. We don't have very good data access in some of these places. So make sure you don't put a QR code where it's unusable. And then this next one is, oh my gosh, my hugest pet peeve about QR codes. QR codes should never, ever send the user to a desktop website, especially the home page. Oh my God, why? It is a mobile device. It needs to do something mobile. And if you send someone to the homepage, what do you think? They're going to surf your website on their mobile device just randomly for no reason? No. So be sure to take the QR code honor pledge. It is one of the next sessions. It's just a really quick thing for you to read, raise your hand, and agree to. And I'm sure you can understand it has something to do with what's on this slide. But please never, ever, ever, ever do this. It's bad. All right, enough of that. Let's see some good things. Let's see some QR codes done right, and then I will show you some examples of them done wrong. So again, you can see the exact uses. All right, this is one of the best QR code campaigns I've seen in a long time. And it is Michael's the craft store. This is a flyer that they had by their door. I was walking out and I saw this flyer. First of all, it's very cute. It's very clever. It's attractive. I wanted to see it. It tells me exactly what they want me to do. Download their free Michael's app for Android and iPhone. Very specific. Scan the code below to download today. And it's very, very clear. When I scanned the code, it sent me immediately to their mobile website where I could choose between iPhone and Android. They just have one code that goes directly to this page, and then from the page I'm going to choose which one I want. When I chose Android, I went boom right into the Google App Store, which I refuse to say the name because it's such a stupid name. But anyway, I went into the Google App area and I downloaded the Michael's app. It literally took me 3 clicks from the time I saw the sign to getting the app and by the time I hit my car, I had the app on my phone. So I went from flyer, not even knowing Michael's had an app, to seeing the flyer, to having it on my phone by the time I walked out the door and got to my car. So that was really impressive. It made it easier for me. It was in a usable spot. It told me what to do, and it caused a mobile action, something that made sense. Absolutely. Really, really cool. Really good. Then I went on to their website because I thought I want to see if they're doing what they're doing on their website, because it's really pretty cool. And when I got to their website, I realized, geez, they're doing everything right, because they even have the code on their website. Now, remember, I had the places to show a QR code, and I had website in yellow. The reason it's in yellow is that it can be a good idea. I mean, if you're wanting someone to go to get an app, that's a great example. If you want someone to see a specific mobile site, that's a great idea. This is a good use of it. They essentially have that same graphic from the flyer on their website. And the reason that it's good is because it gets the physical world, the website, to my phone. It's a connection. Really great idea. They also have a way where you can get that you can text in to get the link set to your phone. That's another really great way to do it. So it's another way to drive traffic into the web. So they've got all these different ways to do it. And then you'll see down here below, there's where you can sign up for text alerts. And we talked about that in the text messaging portion session. Then I thought, I wonder what they're doing on Facebook. So I went over to their Facebook page, and by gosh, Michael's is doing a really great job. From their Facebook page, there's one of the buttons that says sign up. And when you go to the sign up page, boom, there it is again. You can get the app. So again, they're promoting their app over and over again from all the different places. They've got a way for you to sign up for an email right there on their Facebook page. So they're doing a really great job of being everywhere. Now, it doesn't have to be that complicated. I want to show you a more low-tech grassroots example. This is a restaurant in Golden, Colorado. I was here with my daughter and her friends after school. We stopped in to get a quick sandwich for after school, and they had these place cards on every table. And of course, I was right away saw that they were QR codes, and I was very excited. And I went over, and they've got 3 QR codes on one flyer. I don't really advise that. It's kind of very complicated. You can get the wrong ones, and they're kind of too close together. But the idea is that they are using QR codes. They're using it to link to the Facebook page. So when you scan that code, you get to their Facebook page. And I apologize, the picture's a little dark and fuzzy. You probably are not going to be able to scan these and make anything happen for an example. But you can like their Facebook page. You can sign up for their text messaging list by QR code or text message. And you can also link right into their review site to give them a review on Yelp. So it doesn't have to be very high tech. Here's another example. It happens to be going into an app store, but my point here again is that you can put QR codes in a number of places. This happened to print out with my receipt from King Soopers, which is my Kroger store, and it was promoting me the QR code to download their app. Now I shop at that store, so getting the printout is a really great idea. They know that I'm one of their super card people, that I have their loyalty cards, so they know I'm probably going to want to have this thing on my phone to track my points, find out where stores are, get coupons, etc. So put your QR code in front of people that you know are the right audience. That's a message from this. Obviously, you're probably not going to have receipts printing out from your website, but just think about that. Where are people in your world that you can put your QR code in front of? All right, let's take a look at a couple of examples done wrong so that you don't have to fall into doing these things wrong. And the first one is, oh my gosh, it's crazy. Anyway. So I'm in Jamba Juice and I see this awesome poster. It's huge. You can't really tell it from this, but it was a giant poster. It must be at least a 2 feet high poster with a very cute QR code. I love that it's the strawberry and it's really cool. The poster's awesome. They have a really nice call to action in there about being a Jamba insider, getting the latest scoop, sign up today. They've got all the information about how to use the code, what's going to happen when you get your code. I need to mention that because I actually sort of forgot that. as a point, it is a really, really smart idea to tell people what will happen when they scan your code, because you can't just slap a code up there and expect people to do something. They don't know why. You're not giving them a reason, and so therefore, why would they do it? Plus, if they happen to do it and it surprises them with what happens, you don't want that. So Jamba did this right. I want to make a point here that the QR code itself was done absolutely correctly. However, the rest of their campaign was not okay. And for the end consumer, it all starts with the QR code. Remember, I say it all is about what happens. It is the second part of that. The code itself was awesome. What they did was send me to a full-size desktop site. So you can see I'm supposed to fill in my information on this tiny little screen. Yes, I can pinch it bigger, prop it out bigger on my phone, but it was painful. It took me a really, really long time to fill this out because it kept popping in and out. It wouldn't stay the size. When I went to the next size, it would resize back to this. And it was horrible. I cannot imagine that they got very many subscribers at all, because I'm sure that a lot of people just stopped right there. Then here's what happened after I went ahead and did that. 8 days after I scanned the code, so January 31st, you'll notice, I got this email from them that was basically acknowledging that they knew they were late, that it had taken some time, and they sent me this coupon, which I got to print out in order to get my coupon, which, okay, I have technology, send it to my phone, seriously. Or, it was crazy. This was just, it didn't make any sense really the way that they did it. And I thought that was pretty bad until just a few days ago, actually, I got the first text message. On that form that I filled out was my ability to sign up for text messages as well. It took 4 months for me to get my first text message. Now, I assure you that the only reason I remember that I scanned that code and that I might be getting text messages from them is because I've been using them in slides for months, saying what a horrible campaign they have. So it's top of my mind. I'm guessing that anyone else who signed up for that is probably thinking, what? I just got spam from Jamba Juice, because it was so untimely that it's crazy. You'll notice from this screenshot, I have not replied yes. I'm a little bit concerned. I'm not quite sure I want to be getting their texts, but I probably have to, because I need to see what's going to happen. My main point with this Jamba thing is that the code is not the campaign. It is the icing, not the cake, okay? Their code was beautiful. That strawberry was gorgeous. That flyer was perfect. Everything about the code itself was wonderful. Everything that happened afterwards has been a horrible failure. And for the end consumer, it's all the same. And so you really, really have to pay attention to the cake of the code. What's going to happen after you put the code on something? Get all that done first, and then you can use the QR code, okay? Because had that strawberry led into a wonderful campaign, I promise you they would have been in my What's Been Done Right campaign, and I would be ecstatic. And granted, I'm not the end-all be-all of whatever, but I'm just saying it's such a fine line between, success and failure. And as a consumer, the cake is way more important than the icing. Let's look at a couple more. Make sure you're using your QR code for a good reason. Here's a Liquid Plumber one. They have a QR code. Literally, I swear to you, I'm not kidding at all. This QR code scans to a YouTube video of a drain unclogging. Is that appealing? Do you really, do you have so much free time that you want to watch a drain unclog? I don't. Not a good use of it. Now, maybe have it come to a code. Maybe I'm like, yeah, you know what? My drains are really slow. I should probably get some Liquid Plumber. Have it send me a mobile coupon, and then I'll go buy some Liquid Plumber, but I'm not going to watch the drain unclog, honestly. Okay, now here's one where the campaign again was perfect. It was awesome. Enter for a chance to win. They've got this magnetic offer. The magnetic part is true of QR codes as well as the text campaigns. So the whole concept of giving people a reason to do it is really important, and they did a great job. Then you can scan the code to enter the sweepstakes and take this pledge. They also gave an alternate way to get in on the contest by giving just the URL. So they did everything right with that. Again, the code was wonderful. And then it went to a desktop page that was painfully horrible to enter in. So it was crazy. Now, I showed this slide to my class for the University of Virginia. I teach a course, I teach my textbook to a class, and when I showed it to them, by the time I had done the slide, showed it to them, they said that this campaign had been fixed, that it now went to a mobile website. So I'm glad to know that they have fixed it. At the time I did it, this slide was accurate, but good for them. Here's an example. I love scrapbooking. I was reading one of my scrapbooking magazines, and I decided to scan every code. I did a little experiment. I said, okay, every code I see, I'm going to scan. And the magazine themselves had several ads. I think there was at least 4 ads for books that they published, the Creating Keepsakes scrapbooking books. Now, I'm a subscriber to the magazine, so the books are right in line with my target market. I probably would like these books. Budget-friendly scrapbooking looks great to me. So I scan the QR code and I think, awesome. And what I get is their full-size site. I can't see what I'm doing. It doesn't look easy. I'm not really going to do anything about that. I'm not going to try to buy it because of that. So would you rather see that, or what if it went to their Amazon page? I mean, it looks to me like this book isn't exactly for sale on there. I couldn't make it show up a buy button, so they may have been out of stock or whatever, but it was listed on Amazon. So my point, though, is that imagine that what they did was put out their magazine and everyone could one-click buy to buy these books. I mean, how many books would they sell? If I don't have to leave my couch and I can read my magazine in peace, at the end of the day, I've got my, I'm relaxing with my scrapbooking magazine. I got my phone by my side because, of course, we all do. I decide, I'd like to get that book. What if I could one-click buy it from the ad? And the power of that is just amazing. And that's the kind of thing that you want. So the bottom line about QR codes is this. They can either be hearts and flowers or lightning bolts. Now, I wrote my post, The 10 Commandments of Mobile Marketing, and in there I talk about hearts and flowers. So the good campaigns, it's almost as if you follow the commandment, you get hearts and flowers. If you don't, a lightning bolt comes at you. And that's the thing about QR codes. They can either be wonderful, the exact right tool for the job, and it's like the heavens open up and sing and life is good and the violins are going, or it just comes crashing down on you. Yeah, right. This is not good. So just be very aware that it can go either way, very, very on a thin line on the QR code situation. Now, I want to share a resource with you about QR codes and mobile action codes. It's going to be really, really good for you to be aware of. It's a website called 2D Barcode Strategy, 2D-barcodestrategy.com. And that's one of the main reasons I wanted you to understand the glossary portion of this, because this is an excellent site. Even though I don't like them called 2D barcodes, Roger Marquis, who runs this site, does a great job with it. It's an excellent site. He reviews QR code campaigns, 2D barcode, mobile action code campaigns all the time. And in the time that he had done this, so in about a year's amount of time from when I captured that slide, in all of 2011 really was what was in there, 93 campaigns passed his litmus test, and 36 passed and 93 failed. So most people are doing QR codes wrong. The reason that's so hard for me is that if we don't, as a marketing, body of marketers, don't get this right, the consumers will stop using them because they will be so annoyed. They will literally see a QR code and ignore it, because how many times have they been sucked into a full-size site that's hard to use, a drain clogging video, whatever. So if you're going to use QR codes, please do them right. Here is something on his site that you may want to find. It's a free report that you can find. When you're on 2D Barcode Strategy, look for the mobile action codes in advertising. You can just do a search for it to find this post. But it is a research piece about mobile action codes, and that's where I got that phrase, mobile action codes, by the way. That was where I first heard it, and I really loved it. But it was all about what happened with codes and some really good statistics. So if you're interested in it, it's a really good idea. All right, so I would like to suggest to you that as you think about QR codes, that you bake your cake first. Please do not get so excited that you want to do a QR code that you just jump off that cliff and do it without having a valid reason and something that is going to happen really good. In other words, don't be Jamba Juice. Coming up next, we'll be talking about QR code ideas, so some of the campaigns that you can be doing, and then you'll be learning the resources of where you can get QR codes created.